Let me know if you can hear me, guys. I'm out in the busy, super dangerous, leafy, cafe-filled streets of Mexico City right now. So let me know if the audio is good. I'm just keeping it simple. I've got my wired headphones because in 2026, if you're still using these headphones, you're either very, very poor or very, very smart. And I'll let you make the, the decision on which of those it is. Anyway, we've got so much to talk about. If you're in the chat, let me know who's in here, because I'm going in raw here, just on my phone. No fancy softwares or anything like that for this live stream, just straight on YouTube. So unless you put it in the chat, I can't actually see who's watching. So definitely drop me a little message or something. And if you're new, drop in from where you're watching from as well. So in case you guys don't already know, I'm out here in Mexico City. This is where I'm living now with the family. So we've got a year's rent, taken out a year's rent in a really, really nice apartment in a very, very nice area of Mexico City. And I've been getting actually loads of questions lately about what life is like here. And I'm no stranger to Mexico anyway. It's not like we just turned up and thought, oh, let's just live here in Mexico. It wasn't a random decision. We've been here many, many times. And we've traveled to Mexico a lot. Me and my wife, before my son was born, we had a honeymoon here. We was here for a month for that. And then we stayed for a few months last year, I think 4 months the year before, and 6 months the year before that. So we are getting to know Mexico really well. And it's been an awesome place. And we've traveled from coast to coast pretty much. And we never really thought we'd probably want to live in another city, because we are, from London. That's where we both grew up, my wife and I. And always thought we probably want to live by the sea, by the coast, where all the sunshine is. Although we do tend to get sunshine most days here in Mexico City. There's still plenty of blue sky up there. It's a little bit overcast today. I don't know if you can see that from here. But having spent a lot of time on the coast, I don't know. We ended up falling in love with the city, because there's so much here to do. You can get everything that you want any time of day, 24 hours a day. There's Ubers everywhere here, that cost like $2 to travel 2-3 kilometers. There's Uber Eats, obviously, if you want that, and there's just, you can get everything that you want here, and it's just so chill. You can probably see there's trees everywhere, and it's just, I'm not saying all of Mexico City is like this. This is quite a bougie part of Mexico City, if I'm honest. It's quite popular with people that move here with families, because it's typically a safe area. I mean, like, people talk about, is Mexico safe? Well, I mean, like, no country. Mexico's like the size of most of Europe. It's massive. I don't think a lot of people realise that. But this area is statistically very, very safe. Probably way safer than London, actually. And I think the UK's got like 3 of the most dangerous cities in the world on the list. And I couldn't actually do this in London because phone snatching is such a major, major problem. By the way, guys, I'm gonna address the chat in just a moment. I'm just yabbering on a little bit, but I'll get to the chat in just a second. But there's a massive phone snatching problem in London, and you can be walking around with your phone. I've seen this happen to dozens of people, and there'll just be like these sort of young guys on electric bikes, balaclavas, just going around in the best parts of London as well, the richest parts of London. This is not stuff that's happening in the hood, you know what I'm saying? This is happening in the best parts, the West End and all that. And there's these massive gangs that go around. The police don't do anything. And I've seen so many people get robbed of their phone. So it wouldn't be ironic if someone just snatched my phone right now. I would look like such a muppet, wouldn't I? Live on camera. Anyway, let's get to the chat quickly before we go any further. Audio good. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate that, mate. I'm keeping it simple here. I haven't got my Osmo gimbal camera doing this. It's a real pig to live stream via that. Using like mobile data and stuff. I might have to upgrade to the Osmo 3. I've got the Osmo Pocket 2, which is amazing, like 4K gimbal camera, but I might have to upgrade to make live streaming a little bit easier from that. So I've decided just to go, going raw, as I said before, with the camera, just the phone camera. Right, so we've got some people watching. So yeah, Aaron, I hope you're good, man. And I'm going to be getting onto some Blue Protocol stuff in a minute, actually, because if you take like a day off of DeFi, if you dare to take a day off DeFi, if you've got some family stuff to do or whatever, it's like you've missed an entire year of stuff going on. Like I was talking to Peter, the arborist. I don't know if he's going to join us in the chat in a bit. I did tell him we were going live. We have a little chat every now and then. And he was just sort of filling me in last night on a few things that I'd missed, literally by taking a day off. So I'm catching up on some stuff, but Blue Protocol is just like, it's melting faces right now. And I've been banging on about Blue. I think people are just probably bored of me talking about it on X, but you know, for good reason now. If you look back at all my posts from months and months ago, you'll see why I've been pumped about Blue Protocol, and it's really exceeded my expectations as well. And so we're going to be getting onto a little bit of that in just a minute. Let's look at the rest of the chat. We've got Biff16. Hello, mate. Nice to see you in. Thanks for joining. BITNEST is paying old loops with a full T1. Well, that's another interesting topic, which I'm going to be getting on to. You know, I mean, for me, I've made my position fairly clear with the whole BITNEST thing. Like, when you invest, well, I'm only talking for me here. I can't talk for everyone else. But when you invest money into something, you do so upon a trust and an agreement basis. And if you agree to put said amount in, to get a set amount back within a specified amount of time, you expect to absolutely 100% get that. And it was doing that for so long. I mean, I know most people have made really good money with BITNEST, myself included. And I haven't heard many complaints from people who have been, you know, playing the DeFi game sensibly, which means, you know, get your principal out as soon as possible and pay on house money only. And certainly what I did. I haven't heard many complaints because obviously it hasn't been paying of late. They've gone against the agreement. So I'm going to turn around because it's a bit busy down that end. It's getting a bit loud. I'm personally not putting a single dime in now because you know, I'm owed a few thousand from BITNEST personally. So I'm not going to be buying a node. I'm not going to be doing the loop C or anything like that. I've got other things that I'm playing at the moment, which is obviously the Blue Protocol, which is amazing. SUIDEX is amazing. You know, so I'm not going to be putting any more into BITNEST. And look, I absolutely 100% hope that I get, you know, what's owed, what was agreed. Hope that comes back, and I hope everyone else gets what they're owed as well. And if you are buying a node, and if you are doing the loop C, I 100% hope that all works out. For me, I don't want to be too vocal on here. This is something that I really want to be proven wrong on. Like really want to be proven wrong. But I just don't have a particularly good feeling about it. I mean, it was all meant to be totally hands-off, decentralized contracts and everything like that. And if they can suddenly decide on who they're going to pay and who they're not, you know, based on your account weight and all that sort of stuff, that just screams at me to, yeah, not put any more in, you know, and sort of quit while you're ahead. That's just me, you know. And again, as I said before, I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope it goes on to pay everyone out and go on in the future, you know, where people can carry on making, you know, great returns on it. But I just don't have a good feeling on it. There's too many solid protocols out there right now that are transparent, who the devs are absolutely on point. Obviously, you know, I've mentioned that Aaron's in the chat right now. You know, he's transparent. I don't know how you get that much done in such little time, mate, to be honest. I've joked before that I think you could be AI. It's who knows these days? Anything's possible these days. But amazing work, and I love the way the community is really coming together on Blue Protocol. It's really like diamond hand in this stuff, and even though the market's a little bit pants right now, Blue Protocol is a real, you know, gem. And I was talking to Peter last night. I hope, you know, hopefully he'll join us in the chat at some point. And he was sort of reminding me about the AMA, because obviously out here I've just been so busy doing loads of fun stuff out here, and I've missed a few things. But with the AMA, there's now like bonds on GBLUE. There's What else did he tell me about? There's the borrowing now as well, you know, so this thing is really expanding into a serious ecosystem. So I'm going to be catching up on all of that, hopefully, you know, this weekend, in between fun stuff that's going on in Mexico City. There's always so much to do, and you know, especially when you've got a little one. Like my son's 2.5 now, 2.5. Wow, yeah. I mean, I would say that's gone quickly, but I've had sort of a philosophy. Well, not a philosophy, but just a way that I live life, and that is, time goes quickly when you're stuck in, I don't know, you could call it a rut, right? When you're doing the same thing every day, going same job and doing the same stuff every single day, time seems to go really quickly. But when you travel and when you fill life with stuff that breaks the rut, the monotony busting stuff, time seems to extend. So it's like you're gaining yourself more time. So when I think back about when Millionz was born, you know, 2.5 years ago, that actually feels like it could have been like 4 or 5 years ago. So he's already been to, this is not his first time in Mexico anyway. He came with us, traveled with us last year for a couple of months here. And we've been around Europe with him and done some amazing stuff with him. And it feels as though that time has actually extended. So that's really cool. I you know, where possible, I love to live life like that. And when you come into new places and you're not familiar, everything is new, and you get these rushes of, you know, I don't know how you there's new experiences basically, and the brain just sort of constantly snaps out of that feeling of monotony. So yeah, it feels like it's gone quite. It's been a long 2.5 years, but yeah, so it's great for kids out here. They're really it's a family orientated culture, which I love. I really think of kids. Like, for example, we go to a restaurant, and they a lot of restaurants, even quite nice ones, sometimes have kids areas in them, and sometimes they have like professional childminders and nannies in the kids area, and you can sit and watch them play, and if you want to, you can let them sort of play and have your meal. We've got friends, Mexican friends here, who we go to dinner with them quite a lot, and they know some great places where we can take the kids. They've got a kid as well, another son, and they play together, and we can watch them. And there's only one door in, one door out, and there's the childminders and nannies who are looking after the kids playing in the soft play and stuff. And little things like that are really, really different to the UK, where they don't tend to give a crap, really, to be quite honest. But that's just, just a cultural thing, really. But yeah, there is so much to do, so much to do. Let's just check the chat quickly. Here we are. Biff16 says, with a full node, you have 300 MEC that you pay $3.50. MEC now is worth, is that 1,048 on Dex Screen? That's 2x. Yeah, I mean, you know, as I said, Biff, I really 100% hope everyone does really well with it. But personally, I'm out. As I can't remember what TV show that is, Shark Tank or something. Yeah, I'm out. I'm not putting any more money in. But yeah, hopefully they give me my $3,000 back, because they owe me $3,000. So anyway, so we've got crypto. Aaron, massive launches just in the AMA yesterday. Looking forward to your feedback on it after. Yeah, man, I'm normally pretty up on all this stuff, but it's been a really, really busy few days. So I've got it in my saved list on YouTube, so I will be definitely 100% checking that out, and probably doing a video on that soon. So I'm looking forward to doing that. It's DeFi is such a fast-moving, fast-paced industry. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's great. It's great. It's all positive stuff. So yeah, we're just taking a little walk around Mexico City. I'm looking forward to showing you guys a little bit about what's going on around here. There's like everywhere you go, there's somewhere to eat. There's like on all of these sort of street corners, you can see over there in the distance there, there's just like places like cooking up really good smelling food. I might just take a little walk over there, and we can take a walk through. They do hamburguesas, tacos, tortas, all this sort of stuff. And we've been to Mexico many times, and I haven't always jumped in on the local food, or like Mexican food, yes, but in restaurants, you know, not the street food stuff. And I'm really, really getting into it now, because you can come for lunch and go somewhere and get something like a torta, which is like this lovely sort of bolio fluffy bread. And they sort of like grill it and they fill it. There's all different fillings you can get with the chicken and the cheese and the jalapenos and all that sort of stuff. And it will set you back probably less than $2 for a pretty massive lunch. And the same with like the tacos and stuff like that. If you want to spend just a couple of dollars, you can get a really, really nice lunch. You don't have to get an Uber Eats and spend, you know, $15, $20 on a lunch. It's really busy here actually, so this is a good sign. I'm always looking out for the busy places. So if we have a little walk through here, there's Q here. You can see this food smells pretty amazing actually. This is all sort of like grilled meats and yeah, all sorts of vibes going on around here. And this is like typical of every street corner really. So yeah, you can get some really nice food. And yeah, I've been stepping out of the box a little bit and getting some interesting sort of food. There's a couple of times I've ordered the wrong thing and didn't like it, but that's just the way you got to play these things really. I don't really eat much pork. I don't really vibe with pork. I'm more of a beef man myself. So always have to make sure it's carne de res, carne de res. I think I'm saying that right. And sometimes they look at me and think, why don't you eat pork? 'Cause everyone eats pork out here, but I'm not a big fan really, to be honest. No particular reason. There's a load of building work going on down there. Let's get past this. So another protocol that's doing amazing things right now is SUIDEX. I hope you can still hear me over all that racket. There's loads going on with that as well, which I haven't caught up with yet. I'm getting into sort of a Mexican lifestyle. It's getting really laid back out here. But yeah, I need to catch up on that as well. But that's paying out amazingly in Victory Token every day. I've got some really nice positions in the pools and in the single token pools as well, with just a load of Bitcoin just sitting there. You know, no risk of impermanent loss and just a 4% fee in. And apparently, you know, I'm not really intending on selling most of my Bitcoin at this point anyway, so I might as well be sitting there earning yield on SUIDEX, earning yield in Victory Token. And what I tend to do is the same thing as I do with Blue Protocol. You know, the native token that I earn, in this case Victory, I always lock up a portion of that just to help the protocol, because I'm a responsible farmer, and I'll sell a bit and put it in the back pocket, and then I'll boost some of my other pool positions. So I'll buy some more tokens that I want to hold long term in these pools and put it back and keep growing the position. It's beautiful. It's just like a constant money loop. And the same really on Abstract with you know, earning ABX token on Blue Protocol. I always lock some up every single week, and I'll take a little bit as profit, and then I'll convert some back into ETH and zap it straight back in to increase my position in the ETH and GBLUE pair. So it's a wonderful thing. It's a truly wonderful thing. I've gone live at a bit of a funny time today, but I've got so much coming up on the weekend. I can't do a live stream on the weekend. I'm going to be doing one from the computer as well, coming up soon. I want to get back into the live streaming. I used to do a lot of live streaming, but this is the first walk and talk live stream I've ever done, and it's working out so far okay. So I'm glad you guys are with me on this one. And the great thing about YouTube as well, as opposed to other platforms like TikTok and stuff like that, is that even once you've finished your live, if people haven't, you know, been able to join your live, they can still jump in later on and watch it. So that's what I like about YouTube, as opposed to other, you know, some of these other sort of streaming platforms. YouTube's kind of got it all really in many ways. You know, the live streaming is perfectly fine, and long form and short form, it's kind of got everything. I don't really see much, you know, use for. I've tried a few of the other platforms, and it's, I don't know. I think I'm just going to go all in on YouTube in 2026, to be honest. It's just more of a vibe, and there's a better community over here as well. And people just got better attention spans as well on YouTube, as opposed to, it's going to take me ages to cross here. These Mexican drivers are crazy, mate. I thought the UK drivers were crazy, but not compared to the Mexicans, they're not. These guys, they care not for red lights a lot of the time. So, yeah, so I'm going to be going all in on YouTube this year, most likely. And, yeah, I've got a few other videos lined up as well. But I don't know if I've spoke to you guys since we got back from Veracruz. We had a really interesting time in Veracruz. I can't remember if I told you guys about this, but we were meant to be in Veracruz until the 2nd of January. And the idea was we arrive in Mexico City, we stay in Santa Fe, which is a really cool little place, probably about 45 minutes from here in Roma Norte where we live. And it's a little bit further out, it's higher altitude, you know, you're going out to a bit more towards Mexico State. And it's just a really nice place to sort of chill for a bit. The apartment had, you know, there's a swimming pool there, Millionz loves to swim. Really well equipped sort of apartment gym, loads of places to eat and everything around, and a massive park right outside. So the plan was to stay there for a week, head to Veracruz and be there for at least 2 weeks for our friend's wedding. It was all going to plan until it wasn't. And so basically we arrived in Veracruz and we don't know the area at all. So it's on the coast, it's north of Mexico City. It took about an hour flight. It's a very different vibe, very different. I'll just leave it there. And we arrived there and I had a really nice apartment booked for 2 weeks, right on the beach. There's sort of a private beach there. It's going to be amazing for the little man. And we arrived in the cab. They don't have Uber there. It's just like a local taxi. With loads of bags, we left some of our bags in Mexico City at the temporary apartment, and the security didn't know who we were. So I'm showing him, look, I paid for it, you know, it's all above board. I'm not trying to scam my way in or anything. Anyway, so he's trying to contact the guy who owns the property, and he's not responding to him either. I've texted him, I've emailed him, I've maybe 20 times, and even started the day before, no response. So I thought I'd just get to security and they'd know who we were, they'd give us the key or the code or whatever, and we go straight in. Anyway, long story short, they couldn't get in touch with him. The cab driver basically had to go, so all of our stuff is on the roadside in a very strange town. It's getting dark, it's starting to rain. A little man's getting really, really tired and frustrated, and the wind gets really crazy in Veracruz. It's on the coast, but it gets really, really wild down there. So the weather's really turning. And we sort of took shelter in a Walmart because we had nowhere else to go. And basically, you know, we're trying to buy some food for the little man. It's just it's nuts. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere in many respects. And the rain's sort of coming down. I'm on the phone. I've been on the phone for 2 hours on the phone to Expedia, and eventually got through to like someone in the management who refunded us the money and said they were going to strike this geezer off the list forever. I don't know if the guy's dead. I really don't know, because I don't know why you would want to turn down all of that money for no reason. So maybe the guy's dead. I hope he's not. But if he's just, you know, if he's just slack, then I don't know what to say. But anyway, so we got the money back, but then obviously we had nowhere to stay. So anyway, you guys back? Yeah, we lost connection there just for a moment. I'm going to go back the way I came. And it was Christmas week, so there was nowhere available. We needed 2 bedrooms, because little man has his own bedroom. And I couldn't find any 2-bedroom places. And there was like 2 places left on Airbnb. And they were so overpriced, it would make you laugh, it would make you throw up in your mouth how overpriced these places were. We're talking like a decent but basic, very basic. And they're charging like, I think it was the equivalent of like $300 or $400 per night, right? Bear in mind we're meant to have this place for 2 weeks. And out of desperation, I just booked it. And basically we turned up and the place was very underwhelming. And I switched the air conditioning on. We'd finally got in there, like, oh, finally we can get some sleep, I can order some food or whatever. I switched on the air conditioning and water came flooding out, all down the wall, all over the light switches. So the host moved us to another room, the same one next door. That worked, and we went to the wedding the following day. It's our friend's wedding, and it was absolutely amazing. It was beautiful, but we lasted literally another 2 days, and we came back to Mexico City. Luckily, they refunded me, all of the days that we didn't use, basically. So yeah, so that was ridiculous. So I was back in Mexico City by the 24th of December. So we had Christmas here, and yeah, that was basically the Veracruz trip. So it was a total nightmare. I don't plan on going back to Veracruz anytime soon. I do love the coast. We've got some amazing places that we've been on the coast, like Acapulco and Zihuatanejo and places like that. They're really, really cool. Got loads of friends down there. Never had any issues down there, but yeah, Veracruz is... look, if you're watching this and you're from Veracruz, there's no disrespect. It just, I'm not really... I'm not planning on going back. Let's put it that way. I think it's got a lot of potential, but it needs a little help down there, because yeah, they've got a good aquarium down there though. Little man enjoyed that. So yeah, just a nice sort of afternoon stroll here. It's a little bit overcast today. It was really blazing hot earlier on. I was in the parquet with little man, and it was blazing hot. But it's probably a little bit easier to do this walk and talk in the overcast. So right, who we got? Yeah, so I know a lot of guys probably working or family stuff going on at the moment. I'm not going to be streaming for too long today because I've got to head back. We're going out this afternoon. I've got some stuff to do. We're going to be at the zoo tomorrow. There's a massive zoo here. It's completely free. It's amazing. Right in the middle of basically Mexico City's Central Park, which is bigger than New York's Central Park actually. So they've got a zoo, and the first time we ever went to that zoo, we turned up and I had sort of some cash, and I was asking the security where do I pay, and they didn't seem to know what I was talking about, and they pointed to go over to see someone in a booth. So I went over there, tried to pay them, and someone who, my Spanish is getting better. It's not amazing, but it's getting better every time I come here. So someone with broken English came over, and they were basically like, I don't know why you're trying to pay. This is completely free. You don't have to pay to get in here. So that was a real surprise, because in the UK, like, everything is ultra expensive, and they just try and squeeze you every opportunity. So it's quite weird to come somewhere and say, just come in, it's free. And all of their museums and everything are free on a Sunday. And yeah, there's so many of them as well. So it's a wonderful thing, really. We've got a few people in the chat. I appreciate you guys joining me on my first ever live walk and talk. This has been a lot of fun, I've got to say. And I'll probably try and do these once a week. Just a nice way to hang out and enjoy a bit of the Mexican sunshine, a little bit of the beautiful streets here in Roma. Very cool area. So yeah, we'll just take a little walk down here. If anyone's got any questions, chuck them in, and I'll do my best to answer them. We've covered the BITNEST debacle. I'm not holding my breath on that one, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to hold my breath. I mean, if it comes, I'd see that as a total bonus if that comes back. But I'm not expecting it. And I know a lot of people are really expecting it. I think I know it's come up recently queued or on queue. So I mean, maybe that's a positive thing. I hope it is, that people's sort of funds are on queue. But if it was as decentralized as they claim, then surely it would have paid automatically. But I don't know, maybe someone can tell me in the chat if you know anything different. But I mean, it's a good thing. At least there's something coming up. I haven't got it personally. It's not coming up as queued like my loops, expired loops. I'm not seeing anything on my account. Maybe it's because I haven't done anything with the loop C or the nodes or anything. So I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But as I mentioned, there are some great DeFi protocols paying out really nicely right now, and that's really where my focus is at the moment. And sort of building the YouTube channel out, and hopefully as we go on, eventually something like a podcast or something, I'd love to do that and involve crypto, DeFi and that. It'd be great to have some special guests on and stuff. But yeah, I'm sort of always looking for different cool things to do, and that seems like a really cool thing to aim for. And walk and talks are really easy to do while I'm here. I mean, look at some of this crazy stuff over here. I don't know if you can see that behind me. It's just like, these streets are really quite beautiful around here in general, and there's always some interesting stuff to see. That's why it's lovely to do walk and talks here. The UK's nice in some places. You've got some, you know, plenty of green space and stuff, but it's nice to be able to have so much going on within a walkable distance. I don't really need a car here. As I said before, the Ubers are so plentiful and they're everywhere and they're so cheap. It's like there's a really like massive shopping mall where if you want to go and buy some clothes, or you know, there's loads of restaurants there, there's a soft play for the kids and stuff, and it's really huge. It's only about 2 kilometers away, and an Uber literally costs like $2 to get down there. So there's literally no point in having a car here, I don't feel. It's just, I don't know, too much aggro. And plus, learning the whole Mexico driving system, I don't think that's going to be a great deal of fun, to be honest, because they are loco, I'm telling you. But yeah, it's kind of no point having a car, so I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon. And you can pretty much get so many places on foot within 5 or 20 minutes. It's amazing, really. So I'm probably going to head back in a moment. What's the time? It's about 3:30 here in Mexico City. So if you guys got any last minute questions, let me know. I'm going to start heading back. And obviously, if you're watching this after the fact, still drop your comments in, because I can go back over, and I tend to try and answer every question. Unless you're being insulted, then your ask gets blocked. But if you've got something decent to say, then drop it in and I'll do my best to answer it. I'm setting up some streams at the moment, so hopefully we'll look pretty professional by the time I've finished. Normally, as I said before, I go in kind of raw with this stuff, but it's 2026. It's time to expand a little bit, so my live streams will hopefully look a little bit different when I'm doing them from my computer. So stay tuned for those. I'm going to crack on now. I've got to go and get Mrs. Millionz a chai tea and a donut. She really just fancies that this afternoon. So I said, after the walk and talk, I'll pop by the local patisserie and get you a donut and a nice chai tea. So I'm going to head over there and do that right now. I hope you guys are all having an absolutely amazing, whatever you're doing. Thank you for joining me on the first ever Millionz walk and talk, live walk and talk. It's been a ton of fun, and I'll be doing another one next week, so stay tuned for that. Hit the notifications if you're not following me. Obviously give me a follow, and I will love you long time if you do. So have an amazing day, guys, and I will see you all in the next one.